Ethan. Paxton, I hate it when you do that, dude.
Okay. And
Amanda with the Piscataqua Area Community Center, just have an update. We have lots of things going on, which is pretty exciting because a year ago, almost today, we really didn't have much going on. We just finished up another lifeguard training last week. We officially have 12 lifeguards now, doing another training next week in the evening, so hopefully get some of the students from the pool. And then the following week, we're doing a swim instructor training, hoping to start up swim lessons in the pool beginning of April. We have our cribbage tournament coming up on March 21st. So we don't have very many people signed up for that yet, but I will be playing. So if anybody's good at cribbage, come and see if you can beat me. The following weekend is our Ways of Giving annual fundraiser. So our auction and dinner and dance at Central Hall Commons. We are up to 79 donations, actually, as right when I left, for the 365 days of giving ripple effect that we're doing, where people donate $100 a day to support the pool. Their name goes out on Facebook as this is sponsored by Today. We did the math, and that's what it costs every single day just to have the heat and the electric in the pool is $100. So we're up to 79 people that have donated to that. We are a little up in the air as of this afternoon about what summer's gonna look like. The childcare licensor called and said that we may need to get licensed as childcare again, even though we went through everything last year and they had determined that we did not, and we're not changing what we're doing. So trying to figure that out. Our information center is now open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. because that was a need, even though we're 24-hour and we didn't think we'd need that much help. It's pretty amazing. If you hang out there for a few minutes, there's 3 people that come to sign up, and our memberships are growing exponentially every single day since we got the pool open. Had a meeting with Frank Spazuko over in Dexter, and we're going to be working with the childcare program here at the 564, 570 building, 568, what are my buildings? 572, thank you, 572 building. We're going to be providing them with their basic water safety training for all their childcare people. And then we're going to be working with the EMT class who can't get licensed this year because things happen, and they're all going to work on getting their lifeguard certifications. So doing that through the school, and then summer camp and free swim lessons over at Dexter Beach again coming up.
excellent.
Awesome. A lot.
Yeah, it is. Today is more believable than last week in terms of summer coming up.
Yeah.
And you're gearing up for a lifeguard at the beach this summer? That's through you?
That's the plan.
Yep.
Yep, I'll have the contract ready for that in a couple weeks. We just finished up Dexter. Oh, question too, I guess, maybe select board. We are asking the Dexter Beach, they're gonna do 50% in advance by the 15th of June, and then 50% for August by the 15th. This helps us with cash flow because we still have to pay the salary throughout the whole month. So just a request, and I don't know if it has to go through the select board or how any of that works. But that is something we're asking for, and then we'll just bill the difference on whatever hours we had for lifeguarding, like we always have at the end of the month. Last year we struggled with our cash flow for July and August because paying all that wage out, so.
It's definitely something we can consider. The budget's finalized right before. It's a little cold to go in the water at the time we
Right.
do that, but yeah, we can definitely understand the 50 up, 50 plus, sure. Okay.
I noticed tonight people haven't said their names. I thought that was a requirement before they address the board.
Yeah, Randy forgot and
Yeah.
Amanda did, so
Robert Olsus.
thank you.
I've raised some issues through FOIA, some questions regarding the wells, the test wells at the dump in the water. And I was told that there's no test wells at the dump when there actually is at the dump, not the transfer station.
Oh,
That are
Bubbles
required
is speaking now.
monitor. It seems to happen an awful lot, by the way. I'd like to know what the test results are. I think it's of the public's interest for these matters, what's in our community, the high rates of cancer that are now being exposed, the MS cases, the contamination from Guilford Industries that was noted by the engineer at the dam removal meeting. Also to note that through town where the dam is from Brown's Mill up through was not the natural path for the salmon's migration as has been suggested by the Salmon Foundation. The natural path, the way the stream used to go before the dam was built, it's down behind the Little Red Schoolhouse, through that valley, merged with the Blethyn Springs, and then dumped down into the Piscataqua lower site of East Dover, just by Foxbrook, where we put the new water passageway in. That was the natural path for the salmon. If you look from High Street across to the church, you'll see that there was a ridge there. And that was all removed to place the factory there and the dam to power it at the time. Man excavated all of the rock down through town and created a secondary pathway for the water. So to use the excuse that it's the natural path for the salmon is incorrect in my belief and understanding and seeing the original drawings of this area. I've also questioned about the qualifications to be a road commissioner and explained in detail. I think Alcina's is a wonderful person. I'm sorry, and I don't know how to pronounce your last name. So
Fine,
I
everybody.
address you as Alcina. There are people in the community that are trained and educated, as you all know, in the road building industry that are able to identify the hazards that a simple person that has no training, doesn't understand, will easily overlook. I asked for the hours and the timesheets for the town manager who's acting as the road commissioner. We're paying a salary combined for both positions, but there's no explanation of the work being performed as the road commissioner. And with so many things that the town has to address right now, the issues with the dam and so on, I think Alcina has enough on her plate to have to deal with effectively and still be able to respond to the constituents with their concerns during the week. But placing the burden of being the road commissioner on a person who's going to miss things, I explained about missing these things in my emails to you. If a hazard isn't identified, then it goes unnoticed until somebody's hurt or something happens. But when you have a report, the town has 24 hours before they are required to respond before there's liability. Now, in the past, reports were made, but the town manager at the time claimed to the insurance company that nobody ever reported these hazards, which were not true. I have video documentation and emails and reports that I presented to the town manager, and then the Glatfelter policy denied any claims, saying that the town manager never knew when he clearly did, according to the reports. So this is a way to avoid potential liability and responsibility by placing a person that doesn't easily identify these hazards in the community. Our sidewalks are terrible. I know, Embry, you were on some kind of a committee a few years back when this was discussed. They're not ADA compliant. They're dangerous for people to even walk. And then if you take into consideration elderly people, people with vision problems, things like that, go up by Public Works and look at the sidewalk from there down through. It's dangerous. I petitioned about the roads. I hear nothing of any plans. Merrill's Mills Road is not safely passable at the current posted speed of 35 miles an hour. Roads are required to be maintained so they're safe and passable by law of drivers and operators of motor vehicles. But yet we can't, I'm sideways coming out of Frost Road trying to go up the hill because of the deep ruts. And how is a person supposed to maintain control of their vehicle in these conditions with tractor trailers and heavy farm equipment coming through at the same time? It's not possible. The materials were failing. The board was aware of that. They used the materials and caused the problem. It needs to be addressed so it's not restricting emergency services to people like my mom. Okay, this is wrong. We have a lot of elderly neighbors out there. And these road conditions, we pay taxes on these dirt roads that pave roads for everybody else in town. But yet our taxes went up the same. Why aren't, like on Frost Road, I've asked that it be discontinued. I've met with all the neighbors, they're in agreement, they don't want to be part of the town. Taxes are half on properties, the same exact size, because the road is a discontinued or non-maintained road by the town. And the neighbors have asked, how much are our taxes going to come down if we have Frost Road discontinued as a town road? But I hear no responses back. I understand Alcina's busy. She's got more than probably most people will realize on her plate. But I think we need to address these issues. And I don't see progress. Taxes go up. I haven't seen any progress. throughout the years. Nothing's changed, nothing's really got better. We've maintained this same path consistently year after year, where we're looking at a box and not looking around at the opportunities around us as a community. I've suggested, as you well know, about a water slide park year-round type deal, which according to the reports and research, will generate about $1 billion in revenue in this community. And the foundations that operate this, like Hershey, there's another one in Spain that I did work for at that amusement park in Connecticut. They'll put money into the town's infrastructure. We should be diligently after meetings with these people and see what they can offer and what we have to offer to them to do something. We need to bring the town to the front. We're just floundering. And this is what it's been. Most of the people in this town, even ones that don't agree with me, see it. And we need to do something. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. As you may know, we just hired a new assessor. So we might be able to more easily get you an answer about the impact of
You mean road assessment?
property assessment. So your question about the impact of discontinued road on property taxes, we can probably get an answer from
Well,
him.
I met with him and he didn't seem to quite understand how house on West Main Street with a boat launch for his plane is paying roughly the same amount I am, where they have 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. I have no bedrooms, one open concept.
Well, we're,
Dead end dirt road.
that is being all sorted out, but maybe we can get you an answer about how property taxes are affected by a discontinued road versus a town service road.
I just think if people are not getting the same service as the other people, it should be realized and the taxes should probably be a little lower.
Yep. Yeah, and he's gonna be working on that for the next few years. There's a lot of work to be done. Okay, anybody else in the public? Right, seeing none. Close open session to the public and we'll go to open session for the board. Anybody have anything?
Rick,
Wait,
there is a link on the main DOT, based on our last meeting's comment regarding updates on Lincoln Street and Essex Street, the bridge. It's under the tab. It says project information. So thank you for doing it.
That's on our website.
Correct.
Yep.
right? Anything else from anybody on the board?
I only want to know the lights downtown. Even we spoke about how great they are. Have we had any information that they are working properly as traffic lights or?
On 15 and 7 there?
Yep, yes.
Yeah. I
And the
haven't
other
heard
one as
anything.
well.
Yeah.
All good?
Yep, I haven't heard any complaints as far as it.
Pleasant.
I gotta say, other than,
There's a lot.
yeah, other than noticing that they're there, I haven't felt any change in the traffic flow there for myself. So that's a good thing. It's not blinking, which is an excellent thing. All right, there's nothing else from the board. Close open session of the board. Any adjustments to the agenda?
Yeah, I was gonna go ahead and just give an update on Lincoln Street Bridge project.
So we'll do that under. Let's do that under unfinished business. Is an unbelievable one item, so now we're at B. Okay. All right, committee reports, Public Works, Kevin.
Yeah, we met on February 23rd. It was basically the pre-budget committee meeting to hear from the Public Works Department, wastewater and solid waste to find out what they were gonna be looking to try to add to the budget. The big one was a scale for the transfer station. That's been discussed at length. And I think a truck for Public Works, and other than that, everything I think was about the same as it had been before.
Yeah, the ones that you talked about, the sanitation water for sink and for them.
Oh, yes, yes. We also discussed, there's no hand wash station currently. There's no running water at the transfer station. So we are looking into, we can't drill a well at the transfer station, so we're looking into bringing in some sort of a tank that we can hold water in to create a hand washing station for the employees there.
So we have, the intention is to try to address it this year. I know that this is a topic that's gone round and round and looking at all the options. We think we feel like we've got a good plan in place for this year that is not terribly expensive and is eminently practical, which some of the ideas that we had kicked around ran into roadblocks, such as not having the land for full leach field and all that. So,
And safe.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll have some more information for you soon. Thank you, Kevin. All right, admin committee. Cindy is not here. Jane, do you want to step in?
Well, I recall that we focused on the demolition bidding. Correct.
No, that was the meeting before that one. It was,
Okay, then I don't recall. You recall.
it was abatements that we were presented, and then later on the agenda, we have the real estate broker.
Just a quick update on that. We're required to do that now, right? So we're required to have a real estate agent handle any property that is tax acquired by the town. And we put it out to bid, and we had nobody local interested in handling them. But we did have two good bids from real estate agents outside of the area in Maine, of course, that have a solid track record for moving along public.
What are these listings?
The listings are always made in the paper at the time that they go out, but not until then. So what will happen is that somebody will be handling these properties for us. We've selected one. They were both good, but one we felt was a little bit better than the other. So that's moving forward.
Just, were you asking about when for the RFP or the RFQ?
I wanted to throw my hat in, my name is Tom Mangino. I'm a realtor with Remax Infinity. And I also, was, looking to be eligible to, help out with, tax acquired properties as far as marketing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the RFQs went out, beginning of January and closed at the end of January. So, and they're a year-to-year basis. and Depending on, if the board is satisfied with whoever we choose at this point, they can go ahead and re-up the contract with that, or we can rebid the following year for that. But at this point, the bids it's closed for any kind of applicants.
I was unaware.
Yeah, and as far as the posting part, it's on our website that we have it when we put it out to bid. You can also find it I had it on LinkedIn and then also MMA website on there to
Okay, great.
find services.
Thank you.
Okay. So last but not least, the ordinance review committee.
Okay, we're kind of in the final stages of completing the draft for the short-term rental properties and kind of going over the checklist for code enforcement to be able to identify and enforce safety concerns, that sort of thing. Also, and again, with that issue, we're thinking, okay, again, it goes to the planning board, but just calendar wise, does it go on November's ballot or next June? So that's up to the planning board. We also discussed mobile homes. the issue that was brought up was the age of mobile homes coming into Dover. And the standard is a HUD certification, which basically is a seal of approval. And if there's not a seal of approval, that's the issue. And so, I think the position is we need to have that HUD seal of approval. In addition to other safety, home inspection, that sort of thing for mobile homes. Also, the suggestion was to have a printed copy of all ordinances available to the public out at the front office, that sort of thing. And then a new topic is tree care ordinance. That was one evening. And we have fun.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. Unfinished business, the follow-up on cemetery name change.
I move to approve the renaming of East Dover Cemetery as the Dow Cemetery of East Dover.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? I'll just say that for anybody else here who's not a Dow, this has been, we've had public hearings about this and quite a bit of discussion going into this vote. Okay, any other comments from
And it doesn't mean that only the house can be buried.
that?
Yeah.
That is correct. You do not have to marry into the Dow family to be married.
Mary Ann, yeah.
All right.
Well, and again, I'm not sure, does it suffice that it's documented in the minutes, or do we want to have a letter on file as to the process we went through for renaming cemeteries? If someone at South Dover wants to rename it Conroy Cemetery. Because it did take a little bit of work for we to say, we don't know, we have no idea. I don't know if Cindy went through the obits, but
Yep.
just a suggestion.
Yep, we should make sure that procedural thing.
Correct.
Just so the public knows, we did go back as far as we could in our records, and Dow family provided information that that was very helpful in arriving at our decision. Okay, so all in favor? It is so renamed. Okay, next. We have the Lincoln Street Bridge update.
Yes. So FY 24, we were awarded $1.3 million through congressionally directed spending. And that was to replace Lincoln Street Bridge, which many people don't know, it's a bridge. It's a big culvert, but it's a bridge because of the span. It's in poor condition, desperately needs to get redone. I'm not gonna say it's gonna cave in, but it will cave in eventually. So we had already gone through the design and engineering phase. That was the first section, and they came out with a cost estimate of roughly $3 million. So we are about half short of that, of what we were actually allocated. So we will need to seek 1.5 million in additional funding in order to complete that project. We do have a timeline on this as well, where this $1.3 million will disappear, and that's September of 2027. So kind of we have a 2-year window.
Does that mean, excuse me, the project has to be completed before that, or they allocate the money?
Allocated the money, I think as long as we were substantially through the process, we can continue, but yes, it's
Gotta get started.
correct, yes, absolutely, like,
One of these reasons was why I asked you about our reserve funding last week. What does the town actually have in reserve funding? And could that be allocated towards this? To help the taxes we community?
I think that falls under a different topic I don't really know how that falls
Well, if we have,
with the
my
Lincoln Street.
thought is, we got money in the jar over here. And we
Yeah,
need extra
there is
money.
no, the short answer is there's no money in the jar for this purpose, so. So I'll see what What is
So,
your proposal?
The
for-
next steps are basically, we will, because of the lineups of how our referendum runs with financing, I'll be seeking interim financing, options to see, to get us over, our best bet is going through Maine Bond Bank at this point. Because at that, I won't know the final percentage rate until probably August, but they can give a best guess on that. So there will be a referendum question, that's going to have probably a percentage up to type of, referendum question on there. But no money will be expended until obviously townsfolk vote on it and that. But right now it's seeking interim financing and then basically lining that up with the Maine Bond Bank to make sure that we have everything in line. And then we'd have to put this out to bid probably before we actually get a vote contingent that the town approves it. The town doesn't approve it, don't really know how we're gonna go around that because
at the
we're gonna
level-
lose 1.3 million and then we're gonna be on the hook for the 3 million kind of thing. And the longer we wait, obviously, as we can see, costs are increasing. So, but yeah, that is the current update right now.
Okay, so you'll keep us posted on, Elsie and I had a quick discussion about this ahead of the meeting, and it really comes down to there's just some awkward timing in terms of when we've got our normal town meeting and the November. So Alcine is doing some research and figuring out how best to do it. Unfortunately, certain deadlines fall right in between the two of them. So, so you'll just give us an update when we.
Yes.
Yep.
There is no extra funding we can go look for, there's no state help, there's no federal, it's too
No,
bad.
this is federal.
Yeah,
So we're done on that. And no, there is an additional state funding on this.
Hmm.
Because most of the state funding comes from the feds.
Yeah.
So you can't use federal with federal.
Unfortunately, this one fits solidly in town's responsibility.
Yeah.
It's not on a state-assisted road or a state road. Obviously,
Yeah.
the state road doesn't have to deal with it at all,
Right.
but,
Yes, exactly.
okay. All right, on to new business. Got the selecting of the real estate broker. Motion on that?
Move to approve the RFP for McAllister Real Estate to sell acquired property.
Second.
Okay, we already had a discussion about this, so all in favor? You. All right, on to town manager's report.
Town manager's report's gonna be short and sweet. So this weekend we held, our budget advisory committee meeting. Saturday, it was an all-day event from 9 to 3:30-ish, I think, is by the time we got out of here. I think it was very successful. Folks were able to ask a lot of questions. I at least didn't feel rushed comparatively to the previous year and seeing everyone was able to focus, sit down, take everything in. And I'm sure there's gonna be more questions arise, but I think all in all, the overall consensus, at least that I got from the committee members, that they were happy with the one-day process versus the multiple meetings. And then the second item is Essex Street Bridge. You're gonna probably hear me every single select board meeting give you a report on that. So today they did some tree trimming. There was temporary lane closures around there. You're gonna continue to see folks poking around and possibly causing a little bit of disruption in that area as they're collecting data prior to the actual breaking of ground, or I guess it's not breaking of ground, but breaking of the bridge. Before they close finally at the tentative date of March 23rd, if I'm remembering correctly.
It's coming right up.
Yes, and I will keep everybody posted because we've had a really good working relationship with Maine DOT and also the contractors. They've been really on top of getting information to me ahead of time and so that I could get that out and just keeping me abreast of what, even if they're missing a sign, hey, the sign didn't come in, so it's gonna cause a delay of like a day or something like that. So that's really what we're waiting on is the stop signs for Summer Street and north.
It
Is
doesn't
the
take
big,
as long as our traffic lights.
well, yeah, no, I hope not either. So. And that's all I have for town leaders report.
Excellent. Much. Correspondence we, cool. Okay, final open session for the public. Open session for the board.
Just FYI, there's a joint meeting next Monday night.
Correct.
Yes. That needs to be, because people. either
Yes.
Here or
I need to.
are going today, so put that on your calendar. Also, will we be inviting the, superintendent to come to give a state of the budget for schools?
Yes, as soon, they're finalizing it. I don't think it's been finalized right at the moment or,
No, it hasn't, but.
right,
yeah,
yes,
Put it on the calendar.
yes, they will. That'll be,
And then will we have a draft ballot before it goes June?
yes,
Okay.
you'll be getting that on. So the next steps for the budget process, and I'm gonna post something, I have an actual, on how our budget process works. So first, department heads, myself come up with budget. Then we go ahead and have a budget committee. Well, we sat before the subcommittees of the select board. They heard what items were gonna be coming up. Then after that, it goes to the budget committee here, or committee meeting, which we had this past Saturday. After that, there's a joint meeting between the select board and the budget committee to yay or nay and come to agreement on items. Then after that will be when you'll see a warrant article with referendum questions at the public hearing. And that's to follow, which tentatively, I'm thinking the following Monday, if everything can be hashed out. I'll keep you guys informed on that part. Just waiting on the proper language on the legal side for the referendum questions. And then after that, it goes to town meeting where folks vote to go ahead and pass those articles on through to the referendum for ballot. And then in June 10th, 9th, we'll have our vote for what's the date of the 25th this year. Let me check real quick. I'm pretty positive. Yeah, 25th, 9 a.m.
Okay, excellent. I would just like to congratulate everybody on the budget meeting on, with the advisory board on this past Saturday. I thought it was excellent. And if everybody's happy, I also want to compliment the information, the changes and information we had. There was a single sheet for each of the departments with a whole bunch of facts and figures on them that were just, it was very nice to see that just summarized. A lot of that stuff we're all aware of, but as our committees, we're not on everything. Some of that stuff was new to me or reinforcing things. So I thought that was great. Keep that.
Will do.
All right. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see your hand up.
Yeah, what's that, Steve? Hang on. There is funding actually available through the rural roads initiative that the state has for roads and bridges. So we could possibly look at that towards the 1.5 that you're looking for on the Lincoln Street project.
I'll take a look at that.
The information you guys can see. There is funding available. I think we should probably do some of that funding to fix some of the roads.
Take it from anywhere.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all very much. Motion to adjourn. Okay. All in favor? Thank you. Meeting is closed. Thank you all.